All right, my friends, welcome back to another live event here. I was in the process of cutting grass, but yeah, we are in the midst of a we are in the midst of a heat wave. Very hot, and I can tell you what else is hot is Ubuntu Mate 1910. We'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, we are in the midst of a we are all right. So it is hot out. I mean, it's like 90, and it's hot. So yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about the latest beta release from Martin Wimpress, Marty, or Wimpy as he's called. Hello. You guys know what I like. I've talked about this many times before, so yeah, obviously there's nothing to spoil here. This looks good. This looks good from what I have been testing. This is a full install test, by the way, just to let you guys know. A dual boot with Windows 10. Been testing this for about an hour or so. I haven't noticed any unusual bugs or anything. I'm sure they are there. In fact, they are. Anytime you have a beta release, there's bound to be one or two things that will not work, obviously. But that being said, this is not my production machine. This is my testing machine, which happens to have Windows 10, which I also test occasionally. It's basically been sitting, I guess you could say it's been sitting in a closet. But it does work. This is a dual-core machine. Nothing fancy about it, rather outdated. Great for lightweight Linux distributions. And Ubuntu Mate is perfect for that. Let me do this here. Let me move this over here. Go back here. All right, I've got the system monitor up. I'm going to check my settings real quick. Let's see. Streaming looks good there. Audio looks good there. All right, on my end it looks good. Let's see who's in the house. Kenny and Ben. Hello, Ben. Hello, Kenny. Buffering badly. Try refreshing your browser, Kenny. It looks good on my end. I don't know if OBS has been fully tested in 1910. So if it is buffering, that may be part of the problem. I don't know. In my settings, it looks pretty good. I should have downloaded Chrome. Less issues with Chrome. Let's try this here. All right, let's see if that works. All right, changed something. Let me know if that is any better. I should have downloaded Chrome. That seems to be the least amount of issues for me when it comes to, well, really everything, but especially live streaming in Linux. Chrome seems to be the best for whatever reason. Yeah, so let me know if this is better, guys. It's working fine. Okay, good. All right, so this is a full install, and I want to draw your attention to the release notes for Ubuntu Mate 1910. It's something that Martin Wimpress said that kind of threw me for a loop. It's not always that you have a developer somewhat admit that he hasn't been too happy with the quality of the Ubuntu Mate releases. Very, very surprising. Let me go ahead if I can screen share. Let's do this. Like I said, I did get OBS to install. Kenny says same problem. Yeah, it has to be Firefox, Kenny. Yeah, it has to be. I'm assuming it's Firefox. I'm going to install Chrome when I'm done testing this. But all right, hopefully you guys can see this. But on the Ubuntu Mate blog, it says here, I have not been completely happy with the quality of recent Ubuntu Mate releases. I'm going to say that again. I have not been completely happy with the quality of recent Ubuntu Mate releases. That's like a developer saying, yeah, some of the things we've done sucks. Mr. Wimpress, I salute you as a Windows user. Very few people, I think very few YouTubers or very few people take the time or take the initiative to just call it like you see it. I have not had the major issues or issues that bother me with previous Ubuntu Mate releases. But according to Martin Wimpress here, the problems with the recent Ubuntu Mate releases were not deal breakers, as he says, but they were frustrating and spoiling the experience. And as a Windows user, again, I salute you, Wimpy, for being honest about it. And because of that, I have to rate Ubuntu Mate 1910 not just excellent, but excellence plus. If anything, for the honesty of the lead developer, Martin Wimpress, and he's calling this release paper cut releases, fixing little, as he says, little issues, paper cuts, as it were, to make 1910 as flawless as possible. Now, again, this is still a beta, just to let you guys know again. So do not install this yet. It's not. It has not been finalized. This is scheduled for release, I believe, October 17th. It's right here. It's stable enough for me, but this is not something I would install in a production machine. Not yet. Give it another 3 weeks or so and go from there. And it says here, Ubuntu Mate releases, beta releases are regular users who want to help us test, finding, reporting, fixing bugs, and for developers. If we scroll down some more, some other information here, Mate Desktop version 122.2, Window Manager improvements, Compass is not installed by default, and he gives his reason why. Fair enough. I had to install it. I had to install it because if I didn't install it, you see this nice ticker feed reader at the top that I use in almost all the live shows? It would not work. That was the only bug per se in this. Well, I can't really say it's in the system. It's more of the software hasn't been updated. That's my guess. But that was the only bug, if you want to call it, that I've seen so far in Ubuntu Mate. If I did not install, and this is the instructions here, or the terminal commands here at the bottom to install Compass if you need it. The only reason I had to install that is to get the ticker feed working. That is the only reason why. Other than that, I couldn't care about Compass one way or the other. Some other features or some other announcements here, key bindings, which I don't really use, panel indicator improvements, brisk menu, the Mate panel, some other resolves here. Applets, one of my favorite things about the Mate desktop is the use of applets. It is really, really nice to have simple applets, and the weather applet that has never let me down. Evolution replaces Thunderbird. He has his reasons. That's fine. I prefer Thunderbird. For both Linux and Windows, it just works for me. GNOME MPV. Sounds like an SUV car. Replaces VLC. I still prefer VLC. And some other announcements here. Of course, the welcome screen, which is now a classic. NVIDIA driver news, ISO optimizations, and some other information here. There are instructions here if you want to upgrade from 19.04. I would not do it now. You can force it to upgrade now before the proper release. I would wait until at least October 17th or 18th. There is a list of known bugs, not bugs. Bugs. Looks like there's only one list or one thing. That's pretty good. And this is information on the previous release here. I did not have any issues installing it manually, Ben. I just went into the terminal, rebooted the system, and it works fine. So before we take a look at the system, Martin Wimpress, thank you for your honesty. Not too many people will just come out and say that you have not been too happy with the quality of the recent Ubuntu Mate releases. And I get it. If it's not up to par, or what you consider flawless or excellent, yeah, then you should say it. Again, the issues you were having, I didn't really notice them or let it bother me. If the issues were bad, I would not install Ubuntu Mate, but I have. I use Ubuntu Mate 19.04 almost 80% of the time when I am not using Windows 10. And if I'm not using either, I'm using my Chromebook, which is based off of Gen 2 Linux. So there you go. Okay, so again, the only thing I had to manually install through terminal was Compass to get the ticker reader, as you see on top, to get that working. Otherwise, it would flash and flicker and it would not work. But that's the only bug that I saw, if you want to call it that. But that's not a default problem with Ubuntu Mate 19.10. What's up, Paul? Well, let's take a look at this and see what we have. Again, if you are new, say hello. This channel was designed for Windows users. I did get OBS Studio to install, as you see here. The system monitor. Again, 1910 Ewan Ermine, I believe it's called. Again, the hardware pretty low key or low spec, 6 gigs, dual AMD Athlon 2 processors, really what I would call Fred Flintstone stuff. Perfectly designed for lightweight distributions like you see here. So I'm using the default panel configuration here. There's a panel at the top and at the bottom. You can change this, of course, if you want, but let's go through this real quick here about this computer, which I just showed you there. Let's take a look at the resources. All right, 1.9 gigs. Considering I'm running this, with the OBS and screencasting, I would say that is about right. I know, man, no non-tech savvy user wants to use a terminal, and I would have to agree, but I'm guessing most Windows users who, download a Linux distro probably don't really care for the ticker app or need it. So, yeah. All right, time and date. Of course, you've seen these before. I won't go through all of this. Internet connection. Notifications. This is probably something I won't use. So yeah. Applets. I love me some applets. Add to panel. Let's do weather. Going to add the weather applet. And I don't know why, but this is the only weather applet that has never, ever let me down. It just works for whatever reason. So I live close to Pittsburgh. So let's do Pitts B. We'll do the Pittsburgh International Airport. and it is hot. Yeah, 86, so it dropped a few degrees. Oh, goody. Wednesday, mostly sunny, humid, highs in the upper 80s. Wow, for October. That's hot, but it will cool down. All right, well, let's keep taking a look at the hot Ubuntu Mate 1910. All right, you can change the panels, background themes. I won't go through all of that. Again, there is a panel at the bottom with multiple workspaces, as you see here. All my open windows are at the bottom. Normally, I would delete the bottom panel, have everything at the top, but I'm doing this on my 50-inch TV screen, which is humongous in front of my eyes. So I have some real estate to have two panels. If I was doing this on a laptop, smaller screen, I would not have the bottom panel. I just don't need it. The welcome screen, again, this is a classic. If you are new to this, I won't go through all of these tabs here. You know, this is pretty much self-explanatory. But everything you see here to get started, from introduction, browser selection, definitely going to install Chrome because it runs better than anything else, in my opinion, in my test. But I won't do that now. I don't want this to buffer any more than it has to. So take a look at this. You can hit the super key on the keyboard to give you the classic drop-down menu. Again, the menu can be changed to look more like the advanced Mint menu, I believe it's called. There is a search here at the top as usual. Of course, you can click menu. Let's go to all. I did install Bleach Bit, similar to CCleaner. It works pretty good. Let's take a look at the control center. Again, I didn't really notice anything here to make me say, "Hey, what's that doing in there?" It's not, it's not unusual. The Mate Tweak tool. This is by far one of the handiest tools that I've ever used. Panel layouts, you have a whole bunch. I will not mess with these now. Those of you who've tried this, you know what I'm talking about. There are many choices here. I'll stick with the familiar. Probably the second most popular one may be Mutiny, to make it look like the Unity desktop. But I'll keep it as is. You can enable the dock, the HUD, pull down menu. I don't really mess with all this here. Look and feel. Again, once I have my system set up the way I want it to, I don't really mess too much with customizations. So yeah, so I'll leave that the way it is. Again, this is running very, 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 very nicely. Scroll down some more. So we were at all. Again, I installed BleachBit, LibreOffice, very good. OBS Studio seems to be working. It was buffering earlier, but like I said, next time I think I'll stick with Chrome. Hello, Bruguru, how are you? As far as the major changes, Thunderbird has been replaced by Evolution. Compiz is out. Some refinements to the panel. The latest Mate desktop version 1.22.2, I believe, is in there. So the ubiquitous Rhythm Box. This has been around for ages. This is my go-to default music player. It does not do video, but as far as like podcast, SoundCloud, music, I go. This is my #1 music player right now. If not this, I will use Audacity. And as I said, I had to install Compiz so the ticker feeder would work. If it wasn't for Compiz, again, this will not work. Other than that, you only get the two choices: Marco Compositor, or no compositor, or adaptive compositor. So I'll leave this the way it is. Again, the window control placement, nice to have a choice. I have it to the right, as you see here, for the buttons. Okay, let's go to accessories. Ubuntu Mate Guide, administration. I did install the Synaptic Package Manager, my favorite tool for installing and deleting software. One of the best, if not the best, package manager, period. Not really designed for beginners. It's not that hard to learn. I just like the look and feel of the Synaptic Package Manager. All right, the software boutique. This is the default way to install and delete software in Ubuntu Mate 19.10. I love the name of it. It gives it a chic name. The software boutique, monsieur. Now pass the wine. So, yeah, self-explanatory here. Accessories, education, games, and graphics, internet. Again, it's all there. So if you are new to this, this would definitely be easier, I would say, for newbies. It's buffering again. Yeah, I think next time I'll stick with Chrome, Kenny. Sorry about that. I should have just done that from the beginning. Okay, graphics. I don't see GIMP installed. Would probably have to install that. Internet. Again, I installed Ticker Feed Reader. And I will be installing Chrome and forget about Firefox. Preferences. Pop-up notifications. Top right slider. Yeah, I think I'll leave that the way it is. Okay. So the buffering is a hit and miss. All right. I'll still do Chrome next time. Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth. Hello, hello. Okay. Anything else I would mess with? Again, there's nothing really here to say, hey, what's going on? If you want to speed up the startup process, I would probably remove print. Yeah, probably don't need the print. You have to upgrade if you're running 19.04. You'll have to upgrade by January or February because you will no longer receive support because these are 9-month release cycles. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I did install Pulse Audio Volume Control, one of my favorite pieces of software for volume control, of course. Seems to work okay. The system tools. Again, I installed BleachBit, seems to work. Universal access, and of course the control center again. Again, nothing here to not recommend to a newbie. So absolutely take a look at this once it's finalized. This is still my #1 Linux distribution for beginners for 3 years now, 4 years, 3 years. It just works. And yeah, maybe default out of the box. It's kind of old-fashioned looking. Change it. You have 7 or 8 ways to configure this out of the box using the Mate tweak tool. Change it, but really don't let that stop you because it doesn't look quote-unquote modern, out of the box. Change it. I mean, this is a really, really fine distribution. And I guess Martin Wimpress has hired some more quality control guys to make it even better than what it was. I give this an A+. This is running as a full install, dual boot with Windows 10. Fairly low spec machine. Everything seems to work. Again, the only thing I had to configure or fix was the Ticker feed reader. I had to install Compass, but that was already on the website on how to do it. Simple. So if I had to pick, all things considered, if I had to pick a standard Linux distribution, standard Linux OS for the country, putting aside Chromebooks, okay, something that looks and feels easy, Ubuntu Mate would have to be it because it just works and it's designed for older and newer machines. Of course, if you have a quad-core machine, newer machine, this thing is going to fly. Although right now it's doing pretty good, right now. Can't complain on this outdated system. So check it out. Martin Wimpress, thank you again for a nice piece of contribution to the Linux community. This is just, it looks and feels awesome. So again, I'm going to rate this an A+, Excellence Plus, because this is the Linux gold standard as far as distributions go. Well, no, I don't think you have to use Chrome, Kenny. I should be using Chrome. for less issues in Linux for whatever reason, and I think there would be less issues with the stream. But I don't think that you have to. So, do I have to upgrade? Yeah, I will be. My main production machine that I do the shows and the tutorials and reviews is running 19.04, Paul. I do not have to upgrade now, but I should upgrade. I would say by January. I'm going to have to, because support will end, I believe, in February for 19.04. So I will have to. And based on my tests here, I should not have any problems. I will say that to install this, I had to delete Zorin Ultimate 15. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely stellar. But because of the GNOME desktop, it felt a little bit slow and heavy. And they do say that on the website. If you like Zorin, and I do recommend Zorin, try Zorin Lite for an older machine. If you have a newer machine, quad core, 8 or 16 gigs of RAM, then you can run anything. But the fact that this is an older machine, I decided to go lightweight with Ubuntu Mate. Paul uses Arch. Still, I guess you haven't called my doctor, Dr. Benny Bendova, from Sicily. Sleepy eyes, Vince. Mate, not enough headaches for me to... Oh, jeez. Just kidding. Yeah. Well, not enough headaches. Well, a little bit too plain, huh? You like a little bit of unstableness? No problem. You guys want excitement? Just go out to the garage, go to your car, take off one of the tires and go driving. Hey, you want unstable, man? You do that. You're going to have excitement. No, but all kidding aside, this looks and feels great. So Martin Wimpress, I need to get you back on the show. We did one interview like 3 years ago when Marty Wimpress from Ubuntu Mate. Nothing new, so we're going to have to do it again. Because I love what I see. And I thank Martin for his honesty when he says he has not been completely happy with the quality of recent Ubuntu Mate releases. Too bad the Windows team cannot say the same thing. Duh. This rocks. Check it out. Again, it's a beta. It's not finalized yet. Just want to let you guys know. But it will be in 3 weeks, and I trust it now and definitely trust it when it's been finalized. So definitely check it out. Yes, put it on your new user list. Absolutely. Sleepy's in the trolling mood, man. Okay. Well, I'm going to stick around here for a little bit more since in my air-conditioned office, because I was, like I said, I was going to cut the grass, and I thought, yeah. If I want to look at something hot, I'll take a look at Ubuntu Mate, mate. I love it. Anybody else has considered using Ubuntu Mate or has used it? Kenny likes peppermint. Very good. That may be on the list coming Friday for the best Linux operating system for 2019. That might be on the list. That did not win. I will not spoil it, which distribution won. But that might be on the list. Haven't decided yet what time I will do it. There may be an afternoon show, late afternoon show Friday. I'm not sure yet. We shall see. I do have a top 3 for 2019. I will say that. Paul is eating a bowl of rice. Very good. All right, so support ends January for 19.04. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably upgrade to the latest one here in, probably November or so before Christmas. Ken says, you mess up Arch. Well, yeah, because it's cutting edge. You play with cutting edge, you're going to get cut, right? So let's hear it for Ubuntu Mate. I needed a soundboard. You know, I keep forgetting to like download. Oh, yeah, give it up. Excellent. One thing I noticed, just a little quibble, they need to get better, you know, more like backgrounds. These are kind of plain Jane. I mean, they're okay. You know, this one's all right. Let's do that one. But, yeah. Other than that, it's awesome, mate. Yeah, give it a shot, Sleepy. This is working pretty good so far, so yeah. Yep, Zorn is nice too. Very good. I am nice, mate. At least as nice as I can be, right? Still hovering at 1.9 gigs of memory usage. Okay, very good. Of course, the CPUs are being hammered here. Ben is going to try Arch. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Kenny, as much I hate to say to Windows 10, it works fine for me. But I have to go with what I read, and other people like our friend Stephanie, and Windows 10 updates has been a nightmare, so yeah. Windows 7 does rock, Paul, for as long as it lasts, for another 3 months. Yes, it does. But pretty soon, bye-bye, Windows 7. And hello, Ubuntu Mate. I would love to walk into a store. Walmart, Best Buy, Office Max, see a Chromebook, and to the right see Ubuntu Mate machine. That would be freaking awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome? And tell the prospective buyer, oh, all you do is web stuff? Either one will work, but get the Chromebook. $200, $220, you're good to go. You want to do more gaming, multimedia stuff? Try Ubuntu Mate. See what I'm saying, pal? Wouldn't that be awesome? But we don't have that choice. So, yeah. Tux 1313 has a top 3. Mint Mate MX. The 3Ms. The 3M company. Very good. M&M. I'm actually here on the carpet doing my stretches, my leg stretch. I got my new Nikes in, and maybe I bought a size too big. I usually wear 13. These are 14s, so I can put on fairly thick athletic socks, and they still feel big. Oh well, maybe they'll stretch the contour to my footsie. Anyway. Anybody new watching, please say hello. That's why we are here. If you haven't already subscribed, click the notification bell when it works. Support the live streams. The links are below through PayPal, Patreon, and Super Chat. Cannot do these without you. Without you make this possible. The only problem I had is that when I changed the interface style, Mate tweaks everything and the panel doubles. Yeah, I think that's one of the issues they are trying to fix. I don't do a lot of changes in the interface or in the panel, but that's one of the paper cuts that Martin Wimpress was talking about. Again, I haven't tested everything here Once I get everything settled to the way that I want it, customized, I set it and forget it. That's what I've done with my Ubuntu Mate 1904. Once I set it, I forget it. No reason to go playing with it. Paul has Arco Linux. Okay, Paul is running the oil company version of Linux called Arco 10W40. Hey, it's slick. Haha. Kenny, it's only buffering for you now, evidently. But yeah, next time I do a test, I'll do it from Chrome. I think it'll be better overall. What made you pick Arco, Paul? Ooh, Mr. Zuckerberg is bad. You go to the mat and you fight. Gee, I wonder what he's mad about, right? Anyway. I should have told Martin Wimpress I was going to do a live stream for Ubuntu Mate. Maybe he would have jumped on. Oh well. I'll have to try and get him on the show one of these days. Windows 11 with the Linux kernel. Yeah, that should fix all the updates, right? I should add some background music playing, but did not get to install it. I saw this news feed. Airport catering truck spins out of control. It's one of the funniest things I ever saw. And it almost whacked an airliner. Nike's Peter Pan? I don't really buy Nike. I buy actually these are not Nikes. These are what are these? These are New Balance. I get them confused. These are New Balance 4E width. I normally buy 13s, but the last time I bought 13s they were tight. I got 14s, and these feel a little bit on the big side, but I guess a little bit bigger is better than being too tight. But yeah. Anyway. All right, let's give this a 5-minute warning, and then we'll wrap it up. So far, so good for the latest Ubuntu Mate. I'm going to call it excellent.